You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Do you love history but hate when it's stuffy and boring? Well, look no further and join me, Katie Charlwood, your friendly neighbourhood social scientist and reader of books, as I delve into unsolved historical mysteries, murders by gaslight, and of course, women who have been misrepresented through all time. On Who Did What Now, the history podcast that's not your history class. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, Film Vault.
We are one of the original film podcasts.
That can't be true.
There was like 2 other film podcasts when we began, Brian.
How long have we doing this show?
You and I first sat down and did a version of the show over 20 years ago.
My God.
2 episodes each week. One,
We review movies, and the first episode, and the second one, different top 5 every week. Movies that made you cry. Worst movie accents. Most disturbing movies. All right, the Film Vault. Check it out.
wherever you find podcasts.
That's right, the Film Vault. Going on 20 plus years.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal. I'm here with Jeff and Ken tonight. How are you both?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you, sir.
Doing well. Matt is not here tonight. He's actually at our old stomping ground, which used to be called Brixie's. It's now called Imperial Oak Brewings, where we first started playing trivia. He's there once a month picking up the dirty syringes left in the bathroom from the previous establishment, and now he's trying to clean it up. So
I've never seen a syringe in there.
I haven't either, but
The old bathrooms were challenging.
Well, they're the Jell-O shot syringes that Matt likes.
Very nice now.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
It is. And you can go check out Liquid Courage Trivia there. I think it's every Monday night with Jay Borsom.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
They have one of those sinks in the bathroom with the bowl that catches the water. You know?
All
sinks
right.
are bowls that catch water.
No,
Ken.
but it's like a looks like a bowl. Not just like a.
I think like a sink.
You know what I'm
you mean?
saying? Yeah, it's fancy though. Like when you go to a rich person's house.
Oh, like a fancy sink, like
Ken
a waterfall
just has a hose
sink.
that comes out of the wall. In his
Yeah, I just have the hose.
I was like, what rich person do you know? Anyways.
And you,
Not too many.
you might recognize that voice. Speaking of Brixie's / Imperial Oak, it's someone we met and became fond of from when we first started playing trivia. We pay her to hang out with us and be friends with us. And you might recognize her voice from previous episodes, coming to us from just down yonder here in the Chicagoland area, a savage superstar on Patreon, Kellyn Maguire. How are you, Kellyn?
I'm good.
So what's new in your world, and what would you like to remind folks about yourself? Because I think this is the first full episode you've been on in like over 200 episodes as a player. You've been on some bonuses, like Psych bonus.
I was going to say
Yeah.
we are psyched to have you.
Yeah.
Good one.
Not my best.
Not much going on with me. Got a new job in the last couple years. Still doing shipping and logistics stuff, but not in a way that makes me very sad.
That's a win.
Greeting cards, right?
Yeah, it's greeting cards. It's
Oh, that's
not
cool.
weird chemicals that I don't understand.
Do you ever sign the greeting cards before they go out and change the name?
If I was at the warehouse, I certainly would do some secret cards. I'd probably get fired though.
So no.
Just for fun though, for whimsy, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I got going on really. Got low key stuff going on.
And how about your special friend at home that you post about sometimes?
Oh, my roommate Henry.
Yep.
Roommate Henry, who has one ear that sticks straight up in the air, who is also a rabbit.
I was gonna say he's full of fur, but also a rabbit.
He is great. He is currently locked up. Although on my drive over, I was a little worried that I forgot to lock the pen. So we'll find out if I get home and all my stuff is chewed up.
Well, hopefully not, and hopefully
Her apartment looks like a fortress of Henry blockage.
Yeah, he is not allowed near my cords because he has cost me a lot of money in cords. So,
But he's a sweetie.
he is.
Well, speaking of Henry, I think you want to go home with a win today, so your wires aren't bitten. You're going to be partnering with Jeff today, and I know your team name is going to come from a movie you've been watching on repeat. You said?
Yeah, Back to the Future. It's been chilling on TV, chilling in my DVD player also. So we took our name from the better of the movies, I think. Back to the Future Part 2. That's my hot take.
That's pretty. That's
That's
hot.
a pretty hot take.
That's my hot take. I like their version of the future. It makes me laugh. So we are.
Which is also the past.
Oh, I'm old. What's our team name? Jaws 19.
Yeah.
Jaws 19.
We're going to be the fictional film within a film. Jaws 19.
Yes. Well, I mean, Back to the Future, the first one, quite possibly a perfect film. So it's hard. It's a hot take. But speaking of hot takes, we have someone who's going to take the throne as a contestant and is also hot. Been on the show before. He's from Robbinsdale.
Nice. Is that a presumption because he's wearing a tank?
He's wearing a tank, yeah. Yeah. He's coming to us from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Bill Boegeman. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course. It's great to have you back. We had a fun time last time you were here, and you had a great juxtaposition of what you do during the day and what you do at night. It reminded us of the movie Warrior. Why don't you tell people what you're doing over there?
Yeah, I'm kind of smack dab in the transition period between those two careers right now. Had a super busy summer of professional wrestling, mostly up here in the Twin Cities, but traveled around the Midwest a little bit. I was down in Chicago in May, so hoping to be back there sometime soon for freelance wrestling.
Yeah, please hit us up.
You Chicago folks, if you're looking for a show, freelance puts on some super fun ones. But yeah, now I am gearing up for another school year. Social studies teacher up at Forest Lake High School, and we're in a workshop week right now, but we'll have kids next Tuesday. So
lay the smackdown on those students with history.
That's right.
With knowledge.
Couple rock bottoms of
folding chair.
I will be having kids checking their cell phones directly into the cell phone hotel on day one. So
that's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and for a little behind the scenes, inside baseball, whatever you want to call it. We had a few cancellations, so today's game is going to be a little different than normal. And Bill was so gracious to offer to actually host today's game when we ended up needing a host, but I said, no, let's have you play. I know you wanted to play first, so we're going to invite Bill to come back in just a few weeks. So we're excited to have his game then. But so today's episode, which actually I'll get to, but I want to hear, Bill, who are you partnering with today?
I am partnering with Ken. You asked about a team name, so I just made the observation that Ken and I both have less than a full head of hair and a few tattoos, and I'm not sure our team name is super reflective of that fact, or at least all of it, but we are going to be follicular manslaughter, I believe. Follicular manslaughter.
Just for the record, I shave my head.
Right.
I'm a little light on top.
But you shave.
But I shave.
So follicular manslaughter versus Jaws 19. Ken, you said you have a new rules read for us today? Or no, I guess you don't. I was thinking of something else. We can't do that, no. But you do have a new rules read.
Why don't you support us on Patreon? We may or may not bring that up again.
No, it's not Darren. It'll be a different rules read for today, and that's because, Bill, you're choosing it. Who would you like to be the rules read today?
Oh, I don't know. The Dutch guy?
All right. Let's throw it to Willem van Vendeloo, who we might hear from later on.
De regels van het spel zijn simpel. 20 vragen verdeeld over 2 rondes, waarbij elke vraag 10 punten waard is. Halverwege is er een speciale swingronde, ontworpen door de host van deze week. Na deze rondes beginnen de spelers aan de finale, met de punten die ze hebben verdiend. En hebben ze de mogelijkheid om 0 tot 30 punten in te zetten op 5 gecategoriseerde vragen. Aan het eind van het spel wordt iemand benoemd tot the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
All right, thank you, Willem. So today's game, as I said, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm just kind of stepping into a pseudo-host position here. Since we had some cancellations, what we did is we went to our files, and we had a person reach out named Edwin Kotchian. He is the author of a new book called The Pub Quiz Experience, 100 Themed Quizzes for Trivia Lovers. His book's available in paperback and ebook formats on Amazon, and Jeff will put the link in the show notes. So Edwin described his book as him trying his best to capture the spirit of the pub quiz by asking questions in a fun and unique way. Since there are so many questions in this book, and we wanted to give a sample of them for this game, I turned to our faithful members of the Crop Fans of Triviality Discord channel. I told everyone that Edwin's book was broken up into different themes and categories and asked for 26 numbers ranging from 1 to 100. So this game isn't randomly generated, but Discord user generated. Each number will correspond with a numbered quiz in the book, and I'll choose one of the questions from that quiz and say the category. Many of the listeners are breathing a sigh of relief right now, knowing that my traditionally long and winded and clue-heavy questions will not be on today's game. And for those saying internally, I like Neal's quizzes.
Too bad,
and I appreciate you. I'm going to credit each Discord user who submitted a number, and despite knowing a lot of your real names, just to keep it simple, I'm just going to use your username, and we'll go from there. So you'll get the hang of it, and I am going to say, behind the scenes here, after question 7, I'm going to be doing this in real time, so there might be a little little hecticness going on here. But anyway, let's go with question 1, round 1. This comes from that Rodney guy who chose number 3. Number 3 is going to be quiz 3, titled Best Picture Winners Film Posters. I'm going to give you the release year and a description of a poster. You tell me the movie. 1965, a woman carrying a guitar case skips across a meadow. 7 children follow behind her as a man looks on in disapproval.
Pretty sure Kellyn knows this one. We'll lock in.
Oh, Kellyn knows this one. Bill, you got any ideas right off the bat?
Movies are my big weakness. But okay. Yeah, I don't know. Sound of Music, Mary Poppins.
Yeah. What I know about Kellyn is she likes a good musical.
Okay.
So I think Sound of Music would be an excellent guess.
1965 sound right for that production?
Yes, it does.
Alrighty.
And we also said Sound of Music.
And that'll be points on the board for everyone. Yep, the answer is The Sound of Music. And I believe if we want to go back here a little bit in history, when we were at our first Geek Bowl, I think we had it was a really hard question. I think it was the highest grossing Best Picture winner or something, and we named at the time Sound of Music, and we got that point right. I remember we were so jazzed about that.
Yeah,
I can name all the syllables in the song.
There you go. Hey, that's all right. And you're 16 going on 17 as well. So
look at that.
You're looking good for 17.
Youngest guest ever.
Yeah, right. All right, well, let's go to number 2. So this one had 3 Discord users choosing this number. I'm sure you can guess what it is. So it was LK Jeremy, Wanasita, and a Johnny Sleeper Agent. They all chose number 69.
Of course.
A Johnny Sleeper Agent is a magic card.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We learned something else today. So since it is number 69, it's going to be coming from the quiz 69 titled Physics.
Oh.
Yay.
Pass that one to John.
So your second question is, what is the most abundant state of matter in the universe? And I have a hint if you need.
Nope.
Leave it to you.
We're locked in.
Okay, so for follicular manslaughter, what is the most abundant state of matter in the universe?
So I know you're a social studies guy, but how's your science here?
Not great, but gas sounds right to me. There's a lot of gas in space, is there not? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I would definitely say gas. I don't know where the plasma comes in. Probably not. But yeah, let's say gas.
Okay, we have gas from that team and Jaws 19.
Yeah, I feel like the hint would come from the fact that Neal moonlights as a vampire, and we said plasma.
And the answer is plasma.
Oh,
yeah. But
I felt like there was something tricky in there, but
well, and Edwin's hint here was think about stars. So, yeah, that was the hint. And as Ken said, though, there is a lot of gas in the sweat lodge in the studio here after every recording. So I think that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
A lot of hot air.
There's definitely a lot of hot air. A lot of hot air in wrestling. Is that right, Bill?
That is correct, Neal.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move on to number 3. This choice comes from Sforza. And Sforza chose number 25, which is the quiz titled Countries by Religion. I'm going to name 2 countries where at least 50% of the population identifies with the most prominent religion in that country. I just want you to name the religion. I'm taking some liberties here, as in the book they are multiple choice. So I'm going to give you 2 countries, and they share a prominent religion. Your countries are Cambodia and Thailand. What is their prominent religion?
We can lock in, Ken, if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
Social studies teacher.
Yeah.
Do you think this is Buddhism?
I kind of like Cambodia, maybe lean that way, but Thailand, I'm not sure about. So if you have a feeling, I'm fine guessing on it.
I feel like Thin Buddha is around in Thailand.
Thin Buddha.
Is that like a People magazine spread? Like, hey, everyone's the summer of Thin Buddha.
Hot or not, and the different Buddhas.
Buddha,
cool
he's
that.
just like us.
Well, the other Buddhas like me right now, but it's fine.
Let's go for it.
All right, we're going to go Buddhism.
Did you say Buddhism as well? That's what I was thinking.
That also is what I was thinking, Buddhism. I've been to both those places, a lot of monasteries. So,
well, both teams are going to be getting points. It is Buddhism.
Yay.
All right, number 4 is coming to us from user My Name is Dween. He chose number 27. So the 27th quiz of the book is titled Internet Culture. Your question: Which meme involves a video of a group of people dancing to a song by Bauer? The video usually begins with a single person dancing, followed by a cut to a group dancing, often in outlandish costumes.
Seems like Kellyn knows this one.
I think I'm pretty confident about this.
All right.
You got your pop culture on lock?
Yeah, this came out. I think this happened when I was in high school, and I think I know right.
It was a
about
big
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in high school during that period?
I think so.
Wow.
If I'm right,
I was
then
teaching
was.
children's theater at that
Yeah.
There is a small age difference, not much, handful of years.
I'm a baby.
I mean, Neal's old, so.
I am old. Yeah.
So old.
Hi, old.
Anyways, Bill, any ideas on this one?
So this is a meme or perhaps a GIF or GIF. Is that correct?
Mhm. Yeah, usually a video, I believe.
Is the only thing that comes to mind, I mean, it seems like it would be a little early for this, but is the Harlem Shake. That doesn't sound right for the one person then cutting to the multitudes, but
I think that's right.
yeah.
I think you're right with that. Yeah. I think that's what the whole thing was. How it was like calm and then it was like chaos.
Then the beat drops.
Just like the hamster dance.
Yeah. So let's go
Dance to
let's
the
go
beat. You don't even have to move
Harlem
your feet.
Shake.
Okay.
We also had the Harlem Shake.
Bill, what's your wrestling name?
I am the revolutionary Bill Williams.
All right. Well, to be a wrestler, you have to be really good off the top of your head when you're giving promos, and Bill is, because Harlem Shake is the correct answer. So points to everyone.
The top of my bald
I
head.
think we did this at an assembly.
Top of the dome. So Harlem Shake, I always enjoyed those videos. We did one at the Children's Theater School. That's why I actually brought it up. And the kids just went absolutely insane, but they loved it. It was great.
We did it at my theater.
Did you?
Community theater too, yeah.
It's a good way to get all the jitters out and everything. Act like a fool, as they say. All right, number 5 of the first round. Discord user Finax or Finax, Finax, chose number 17. And the 17th quiz is titled Flags. So, for 5 points apiece, I want you to name the U.S. state flags that feature a now extinct subspecies of grizzly bear, while the other features 8 gold stars forming the Big Dipper and the North Star.
Yep, Kellyn, we're good. We can lock in.
I know one of those, so.
So California is probably the bear one, yeah?
That's correct. And as far as the stars go, I'm kind of at a loss. I know this is Jeff's jam, so you got any ideas on the stars?
Like raspberry.
Can you describe the stars again?
The stars, it features 8 gold stars forming the Big Dipper and the North Star.
Well,
and there's 4 flags or just one other flag?
2 flags total.
Oh, 2
one
flags.
with the bear,
okay.
one with the stars.
Gold stars and the North Star.
Isn't Montana the big sky state?
That sounds right to me. There's a series.
Maybe they'd put some stars on their flag because of all that sky that they've got.
Yeah, that reasoning sounds good to me. I know it's not.
That's the only
Minnesota,
good
we're the bold
reasoning.
North. But I'm pretty sure that our flag is a little more. We're changing our flag because it's a little bit insensitive to certain cultures.
So goodbye to that.
Goodbye to that.
It's not as insensitive, at least to taste, as the city flag of Milwaukee, but
oh.
Ooh.
So don't look those up.
It's just a heinous flag.
Okay.
It's just ugly.
Oh, okay.
Illinois is changing theirs just because it's boring.
So Montana?
Montana sounds good to me.
I think Montana's flag has a seal on it. And not the fun kind, the boring kind, like 30,
they're landlocked.
like 30 other states put on theirs. If anybody is interested in flags, CGP Grey has a great video where he rates state flags.
I want to go home.
But we said California for the extinct ursine species, and Alaska is the one I'm pretty sure with the North Star and the Big Dipper.
They got some sky too up there.
Jeff bringing out the word ursine. He's acting like an Urs hole, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's right. Which is a bear's butt.
A bear's butt.
Erstwhile, Neal, what is the answer?
So it'll be full points to Jaws 19. It is California and Alaska, and then half points to follicular manslaughter.
Look, I'll take half points on a flags question any day.
All right, Jeff, after the first 5 questions, what are the scores looking like?
So teams are off to a good start. Follicular manslaughter has 35, but Jaws 19 over here, we're on par for a box office record. Kellyn and I have 50 points.
Just like Barbie.
Yeah, you're right. It could be a Barbenheimer thing going on here.
So we were
My
just
job
a couple
is
of
podcast.
What's the other one we got wrong?
we were just a couple drops of plasma away, my friend.
Oh, the plasma, yes.
The damn plasma.
Well, speaking of plasma, let's go to question number 6. Has nothing to do with number 6, but I figure I would just keep the ship moving.
Good job.
And I said ship, by the way, S-H-I-P. All right, just making sure.
I'll bleep it.
All right, you can bleep it. So this question was chosen by user 49 pounds, and they chose number 41 when 49 was right there, but that's okay. So 49 is the quiz titled Music History. Okay.
I thought we wanted 41.
Excuse me. 41 is titled.
See, it's confused.
Music History. It is. Here's your question. The Hallelujah Chorus is part of what oratorio composed by Handel? So the Hallelujah Chorus is part of which oratorio composed by Handel?
I thought you were going to ask me the Handel question.
I got it. We're good.
Oh, lovely.
It took me a second, but
I presume we're looking for a number here, Ken?
That might be a good place to start.
I don't know what number.
I know Hallelujah Chorus, and I know Handel, but I don't know anything else about that whole deal. I don't think.
See, the only Hallelujah I know is by Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping this was going.
Which one's longer?
I was thinking it'd be like Oratorio number 9, but...
That's Oratorio number 5, guys.
A little bit of Handel in my life, a little bit of Mozart on the side, a little bit of Beethoven in your ear. He can't really hear it. Oh dear. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
All right, let's go back.
Worthy.
So, yeah, do you just want to, should we guess a number?
I think that's going to be better than me making up a song title. Unless you got something.
We'll say 17.
Okay, 17. And Jaws 19?
I believe that is Handel's Messiah.
Oh.
Otherwise known as what you call Sean Spencer. Messiah, correct.
That would make sense.
Oh. It hurts.
We had to sing that and play it if you're in the orchestra every year at our holiday concert.
It hurts.
So it would have been bad if I did not know that one.
It was stuck in your subconscious there. It'll always be there.
Yeah, I had to flip back to that sheet music.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling. Like when we played, was it Green Sleeves or whatever one we had to play every year? Yeah. All right. Well, that is going to be points for Jaws 19. And user Grim is number 7. He chose number 21. And quiz 21 is titled Mythical Creatures Before and After. As an example from the book, here's your question, just to give you an idea. It's not the study of birds, but of single-horned horses, which would be...
Unicornithology.
There you go. Yeah. Unicorn and ornithology. Unicornithology. So that's what we're looking for.
I see.
And I do want to say from the book, when I was looking at all the questions, they aren't necessarily in the order of...
Yes, that was obvious from what you just said.
Okay, great. Just want to make sure. All right, here we go.
Word puzzles. I'm so excited.
Here's your question for points. I'm looking for a dish of beaten eggs filled with chunks of tiny spirit dwarves cooked in a frying pan.
All right, after a little deliberation, I think Bill and I have a reasonable answer. So what are you guys thinking?
This is the toughest one for us yet.
Yeah, this is an unreasonable answer.
Hopefully we can get some points on you.
I'm okay with an unreasonable answer over no answer.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how in my head to put together like a posthumous Gimli and an omelet. So
Yeah, I went with a Gollum-lit.
Gollum-lit.
Okay.
I know he is not a spirit dwarf, but it's the only thing that I could make work.
That's good. We went... Again, the sound on this one isn't quite right, but it spells pretty good. And we went with gnomelet.
Oh, and I was trying to think of anything that went with
Gnome.
frittatas. Nothing worked with frittata.
Well, one team is getting points. It is gnomelet, follicular manslaughter.
Oh,
Gnome and omelet.
Nice.
So a gnome is a spirit dwarf? Or is gnome like a specific
Didn't
character?
you ever see Romeo and Juliet?
That recolors the Travelocity advertisements for me.
The spirit dwarf.
Wait, did spirit or sprite?
Spirit.
Oh, okay. I just didn't,
That's fine. Just let's
Spiritually,
move on.
he's a dwarf.
Yes. I know you guys didn't want to lose any points, but that's okay.
Oh, it has nothing
There's
to do
a full
with that.
full game ahead. Okay, so dear listeners, this is where the game's going to get a little crazy. I'm going to be finding these questions in real time here, just picking off the cuff here. So, all right, number 8 is coming to us from user Juggle Boy, who picked 42. And quiz number 42 is titled...
Is that your burner account?
Juggle Boy?
Yeah.
Give me your balls, I'll juggle them.
All right, Juggle Boy, what's the question?
All right, so the title is Billboard year-end #1 pop singles. So
No.
Oh no,
it's
I
going to
hate the
be,
Billboard.
given the year and the artist, I want you to name the Billboard year-end #1 pop single. And since Ken and Bill just got that question right, Ken, give me a number 1 through 10.
4.
All right, number 4 comes to us in 1993 by Whitney Houston.
I wasn't alive, so I'm going to plead ignorance.
It's the one you think it is.
Okay. I'll leave it to you olds.
Yeah, I'm going to lock in.
You olds.
Ken, I'm pretty sure this is when the movie The Bodyguard came out. And I believe the hit song from that soundtrack was the one we all know. If you'd like to take it away, yes.
I will always.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
So.
Bodyguard.
So we'll say, and I will always. What's it called? I'll always love you.
Yeah, I will always love you.
I will always love you.
That was a really sweet moment between them.
I know. I think Bill's going to be our bodyguard now too.
We agree. It's pretty sure it's I Will Always Love You.
Yep. Originally by Dolly Parton, it is I Will Always Love You.
I always forget that.
Both versions, by the way, are great.
All right. So now we're going to go to number 9. And speaking of sequels, like Jaws 19, this user's name is Bourne Identity 8. Where Jason Bourne tries to stop from being incontinent. So we're going to go to number 81 is what they chose. And as I said, I'm looking these up in real time. So
the only thread.
9 times 9 is 81.
Ooh.
That's some math for you.
The only threat Jason Bourne can't tackle.
All
Depends.
right. So quiz number 81 is sports teams' names literally. Provide the full name, city, and team name of each MLB, NBA, NFL, or NHL team, given their home state and examples of what their name could describe. Example, Illinois, Grizzly, Polar, Black. Answer, Chicago Bears. So I'm just going to give you one of them, but those are the rules for the entire quiz. All right, so I think both teams got one right. Kellyn, 1 through 10?
6.
6. Missouri, Standing Bear, Little Turtle, Black Hawk.
All right. So what are the?
Well, I think this is kind of tricky because the only pro team I can think of, you got the Cardinals and you got the Blues in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this might be Kansas City, which kind of straddles that border.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps all 3 of those names are Chiefs.
Ah, good call. Good call there.
Okay, Jaws 19.
Yeah, we agree. We think this would be the Chiefs.
And Chiefs is correct. Kansas City Chiefs.
Very wise. Very wise.
Points all around.
I was stuck there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's round out the first round here. We'll have our last question here, chosen by user Caius. They chose number 43, and as I command F43 here, it looks like quiz 43 is musicals by lyrics.
All right, we'll put 10 down.
Time to put some work in.
So I'm going to give you an excerpt from a Broadway show of its lyrics, and you just have to name the show. And all answers are among the 30 longest running Broadway shows, so no random ones here. And Bill, your team got the last question correct. Give me a number 1 through 10.
1.
This repulsive carcass who seems a beast but secretly dreams of beauty. Kellyn's hand is shaking as she writes a word. She's just so upset about it.
So it looks like you're locked in though.
Yeah.
But you're not sure.
With tumultuous trepidation.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bill. Should we just say Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, I mean,
It was a musical.
I was really hoping the lyrics would have the word meow in them because that would kind of narrow it down for us. But
either Meow Mix the musical or Cats.
One of the two. But yeah, I think Beauty and the Beast is a musical you can go see. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think
I'm trying to just think of one more musical with like a glow up in it or something. But
Hair or I don't know. I don't want. The only musical I've ever been to is the Trey Parker Matt Stone one.
Book of Mormon.
Yes, Book of Mormon.
Well, let's just say Beauty and the Beast reluctantly.
Let's go for it.
I'm also reluctantly saying Beauty and the Beast. I'm not sure if it's one of the top 30 running shows, but that's just where I'm going.
So Beauty and the Beast is on this list. It's number 5 in the book, and the lyric from that show is "There must be more than this provincial life."
That's
Book of Mormon is in this list. 2 by 2 were marching door to door. But the answer to this repulsive carcass who seems a beast but secretly dreams of beauty is the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, it's because I don't like Phantom of the Opera.
My wife
was
is going to
thinking
be
that, but
very
I
upset
couldn't-
with me.
That musical crossed my mind, but I couldn't imagine that lyric in it.
Yeah, I don't mind taking the L on that one. I don't like that show.
We all like to call ourselves repulsive carcasses here.
Now, you don't like Andrew Lloyd Webber, correct?
Yeah, that's
You said
what it is.
one good song over and over?
He does one good song a show, pretty much, and then Joseph is amazing all the way through. That's my
Joseph is a great show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
After 10 questions in the first round, Jeff, what are the scores looking like?
They are looking pretty good. Follicular Manslaughter narrowly behind, 15 points in second place with 65. And Jaws 19 dropped a couple in that second half, going for 80. So no box office records for us anymore, but still putting up a good showing.
Wonderful. Well, right before we get to the swing round, just once again, thank you to Edwin Kotchian. His last name is spelled Kotchian. If you want to look at it on Amazon, this book, The Pub Quiz Experience, 100 Themed Quizzes for Trivia Lovers, is available in paperback and ebook formats on Amazon. Speaking of Amazon and speaking of books, you can check out my new book, which has just come out not too long ago. It's called Behind the Screens, Illustrated Floor Plans and Scenes from the Best TV Shows of All Time. I did it with a wonderful artist named Iñaki from Spain. And if you'd like to get a copy of the book, just let me know. Send us an email at trivialitybooking@gmail.com, and I will send you a signed book plate if you'd like, because I can't make it everywhere. So but anyway, let's get to the swing round. And speaking of the swing round here, I chose a number because I wanted to, and I wanted to include myself. And I picked number 24 because I love the TV show 24 and Jack Bauer. And quiz number 24 in the book is novels by characters. So your swing round today is going to be a list of 10 novels described by the year they came out and 3 characters that are in the novel. I just need the title. So I'm going to give you 3 characters and the year. You're going to give me the title of the famous novel. Here is your list of 10. Number 1, 1813, George Wickham, William Collins, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Number 2, 1967, Ursula Iguaran, Jose Arcadio, Remedios the Beauty. Number 3, 1847, Edgar Linton, Nellie Dean, Mr. Lockwood. Number 4, 1925, Daisy Buchanan, Jordan Baker, George B. Wilson.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Number 5, 1960, Dill Harris, Calpurnia, Aunt Alexandra. Number 6, 1949, Julia, O'Brien, Ampleforth. Number 7, 1951, Robert Ackley, Mr. Spencer, Sally Hayes. Number 8, 1884, Widow Douglas, Jim, Miss Watson. Number 9, 1939, Jim Casey, Connie Rivers, Molly Graves. And number 10, 1922, Richard Best, Mrs. Bellingham, Josie Breen.
I'm glad these aren't too easy.
Yeah, well, Ken seemed to like this category, but I think it's going to be a hard one.
All right. Well, let's mull these books over. Wish I had read more of them.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Everybody shush! William Shatner has something to say.
Cat and Jethro, box of oddities.
What do you do when the woman you love dies? Well, of course you dig her up and you live with her.
Aww.
The show examines weird things.
There are plenty of old photographs from this time period of children out in the streets playing in and among the dead horse carcasses.
Oh, I miss those days. Things used to be so much simpler.
Cat and Jethro.
Then there's the urine wheel, which sounds like a really bad game show.
They've done weird things. Cat and Jethro, box of oddities. That is really mysterious.
Join Cat and Jethro Gilligan Toth for the strange, the bizarre, the unexpected, as they lift the lid and cautiously peer inside the Box of Oddities.
The Webby Award-winning Box of Oddities podcast from Airwave Media.
Hutchinson, Minnesota had some problems. For the adults of Hutchinson, the problem was the teenagers. They kept sneaking off at night to empty barns where they'd, brace yourself, dance. Who knew what sort of sin and heavy petting and French literature these barn dances might lead to? No, the adults of Hutchinson, Minnesota did not approve. And neither, it seemed, did the devil. One summer night, Satan himself suddenly appeared in the middle of the dance floor, and the debauched teens ran in fear. He showed up at the next dance, too. For a few months, it seemed like you couldn't go to a late-night barn dance in Hutchinson without getting chased out by the devil, pitchfork in tow. Until one night, when a 14-year-old boy had the good sense to shoot him in the chest. At which point the devil was revealed, Scooby-Doo style but bloodier, to be the local Methodist minister, dressed in a costume and flown in from the roof by rope and pulley. This is The Constant, a history of getting things wrong. I'm Mark Chrysler. Every episode, we look at the accidents, mistakes, and bad ideas that helped misshape our world. Find us at constantpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
All the answers are now locked in for the swing round. We're going to get right back to these clues to see what they said. But before we do that, today's swing round is brought to you by Patreon. We have 2 patrons here in the studio. If you go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast, you can help support the show. And it's not even just today's swing round that's brought to you by Patreon. It's every episode swing round brought to you by Patreon. Kellyn, I want to put you on the spot. What do you like about being a patron?
I like getting to have a title whenever I show up here.
It's a very honest answer.
That's a really good answer. And Bill, how about you? Anything that you like most about being a patron and helping the show?
Well, I feel like you guys helped boost my trivia acumen, and so my meager contribution more than comes back to me with those $20 and $30 gift cards that me and my trivia team are raking in at the weekly pub trivia. So it's well worth the investment.
Love
Bill's
to hear that.
Nice.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it is.
I'm an
Titles.
Titles.
Come on.
Well, thank you.
All big bald heads.
Venerate me, peasants.
Yes. Thank you, Savage Superstar Kellyn. But yeah, if you'd like to join them, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. So let's get to these clues. We had 10 questions, 3 characters per clue. All right, so let's go to number 1 of the swing round. The year is 1813, and the characters were George Wickham, William Collins, Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
We knew it was some old English book. We didn't know which one. We just said Jane Eyre.
Okay.
We also thought it was some old English book and said Pride and Prejudice.
One team is going to get points. I think I've said on this podcast before, I played a character named Mr. William Collins who sounded like, "Hello, ladies. Thank you for inviting me to your tea." And that was Pride and Prejudice.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I said, I'm pretty sure this isn't Pride and Prejudice.
Right, which is why we're like, I'm pretty sure it's not Emma, because I remember a stage production of Emma.
All right, let's go to number 2. This is actually the most current work out of the entire list of 10, and Bill pointed that out. 1967, Ursula Iguaran, Jose Arcadio, and Remedios the Beauty.
Yeah, Ken and I weren't sure on a lot of these characters, so we were kind of just going off year, and in this case, language. So we picked Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 1,000 Years of Solitude. It's a long time.
It's a little shorter than that. We thought it was 100 years of solitude.
And unfortunately, the points are going to go to the team who is 900 years less. Oh, no. Unfortunately, it was 100 years of solitude.
I'm also pretty sure that if you named the first 27 characters by name, you had to get through all of the Jose Aurelianos to get to these characters, right?
Probably, yeah.
I do that too with, what's the one with the Leagues Under the Sea or the Arabian Nights?
Oh, 20,000.
Yeah, or Days Around the World. I can never get, I'm always 10 off or 100 off.
20,000 days around the world.
Yeah.
I think we both...
A tortoise's journey.
I think we both thought it was 1,000.
I heard you talking about it, and I was just feeling bad that you were so close. All right, number 3, 1847, Edgar Linton, Nellie Dean, Mr. Lockwood.
We weren't sure, so we just guessed Little Women.
Oh, Louisa May Alcott.
We guessed with Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights is correct.
Oh, nice. I said it might be in here somewhere too, and then we just forgot about it.
I have a copy of it that I wrote a book report about on the shelf in my office.
Listen, no Heathcliff, no answer.
I'm not going to say I read it.
Tonight's game sponsored by Kate Bush.
Tonight's game sponsored by Cliff Notes. Also known as How I Got My Degree.
If Emily Bronte had a perfume or a cologne, I think it would have sold. It's just a really nice sounding name, Bronte. Okay.
Isn't Charlotte the one who wrote Wuthering Heights?
Emily.
Oh, it was Emily. Okay.
Emily, you are wrong, sir.
Apologies.
Take the points away.
Apologies.
Yep, no point. Yeah, you're getting your points taken away. Okay, number 4, 1925. Daisy Buchanan, Jordan Baker, George B. Wilson.
This is The Great Gatsby.
It is 100, The Great Gatsby.
Best to be read when you were lying stomach down in a pool. Yeah, The Great Gatsby.
Oh no, he's so dead.
Number 5, 1960. Dill Harris, Calpurnia, Aunt Alexandra.
This one goes out to my mom. This is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Ooh, that sounds right. We said I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
And it is To Kill a Mockingbird. And we were talking during the intermission. If you have a chance to see the play version of it, it's a wonderful play written by Aaron Sorkin. Or adapted, I should say, by Aaron Sorkin.
Yes, he went back in time and wrote it.
Yes.
It's a lot of
under the pen name.
There's a lot of walking and talking.
Yeah, exactly. They walk through the audience. They're talking about Boo Radley. And yeah, it's just all, there's politics in there. There's a big speech with Jack Nicholson. It's kind of a crazy play. Let's move on to number 6. Comes to us from 1949. Julia O'Brien, Ampleforth.
All right, we were going back and forth on this one a little bit. Do you want to describe our thought process?
We had Catch-22, which I was pretty sure came out around this time, and then last second changed it to 1984, which we also think came out around this time, so hope we don't regret that. 1984 was our guess.
We also went in the direction of 1984.
And you are both not only under surveillance, but you are correct.
I thought that book came out in 48. I'll have to change that in my mind.
Written in 48,
that was the Charlotte
published.
Bronte version.
Well played.
All right, number 7.
Well played.
1951. Characters, Robert Ackley, Mr. Spencer, Sally Hayes.
Just based on the year and our ignorance of the characters, we said Catcher in the Rye.
We also said Catcher in the Rye based on me having half a memory from
And
sophomore year English.
Also, I believe you're a huge fan of human hunting hats, right?
Oh, yeah.
And points to both teams. The Catcher in the Rye. Number 8. 1884. Widow Douglas, Jim, Miss Watson.
We said The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah, man. We also said The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
And we're all having
Stealing
adventures here in the
our
studio because you're all getting points.
Hooray.
Number 9, 1939. Jim Casey, Connie Rivers, Molly Graves.
Again, kind of going off the year here. Didn't see any Jodes on the list, but we're going with Grapes of Wrath by Steinbeck.
We also said The Grapes of Wrath, who never take a bath. It is their style to seldom smile and never laugh. Veggie Tales. Move on.
I think Ken and I are waiting for the Primus version of this book.
My name is Joe.
My name is Joe. It is The Grapes of Wrath. That is right.
Ghost of Tom Joad cover, Bruce Springsteen covered by Rage Against the Machine.
So good.
Ooh, nice. Good call back there.
Perhaps their best song.
There you go. And number 10, to round it out here, 1922, characters Richard Best, Mrs. Bellingham, and Josie Breen.
We really weren't sure, but we thought the year would be just about right for Hemingway. We don't really know the order of his books, but we said For Whom the Bell Tolls, it may be tolling for us today.
We had a hot guess with Ulysses.
It is Ulysses.
Oh, nice, Jeff.
Wow.
Told you 2 of these books on this list were 2 of the hardest books I ever tried to read. All right, both teams bolstering their scores here quite a bit. 30 points being added to follicular manslaughter, going to a total of 95. And over here at Jaws 19, Kellyn and I only missed 1 there. So we're going to go up to 125.
Rich get richer.
All right, well, let's move right
That's
along.
how it works, Ken.
The rich do get richer, Jeff. And let's see if these points are going to be getting more pointy for your team. Since you had more points in the swing round, give me a number 1 through 10 for the first question of round 2.
3.14159.
Come on. 3. He says 3.
All right. Jeff says 3.
He didn't say it had to be a real number.
All right. The first question comes to us from user VBall51, and they chose 51. So it looks like quiz 51 is U.S. national parks. In other words, I'm going to give you a kind of cutely named national park, and you have to name what national park it is trying to be. So an example would be opposite of Birthdale National Park, California, Nevada. Answer would be Death Valley.
That's where the Undertaker's from.
Undertaker is from Death Valley, right? All right, here we go. So
like for real, or that's where he's like said to be from?
Said to be.
Ah. I don't know, man. Maybe his
Wasn't
parents
the
were on a
Undertaker
road
from around
trip.
here?
And
Maybe not. No, that's Macho Man, right?
Macho Man's from around here. Yeah.
Macho Man's from my hometown.
Randy Poffo.
All right, so Jeff chose number 3, and your clue, Gigantic Grotto National Park, Kentucky. So what is the real national park name for Gigantic Grotto National Park, Kentucky?
Yep. When I hear about national parks in Kentucky, I think
Sounds
about
like a mammoth park,
cave.
huh, Jeff?
Yeah, cave, right?
Yeah, I believe that's
It's a Mammoth Cave.
Mammoth Cave.
Yeah, we also think it's named for a extinct tusked animal. We said Mammoth Cave.
And both tusked animals are getting points today. So,
By the way, when you come to Chicago for your wrestling performance, prepare to meet Mammoth Cave, my new persona, coming out to face you.
if you're going to be Mammoth Cave, I'm actually going to pick the name from.
You're going to be Dry Tortugas National Park.
I'm going to be number 5 in the book here, which is the fake name for Grand Canyon National Park, Glorious Gorge.
Nobody wants that.
I'm picturing you in like one of those furry singlets with a wooden club.
Could be.
A real Fred Flintstone look to it.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, we're going to go on to number 2, and this clue is going to be coming to us from user Dispatch Rabbi. They picked number 36, and quiz number 36 in the book is Culinary Nuts. All right, and let's go to Bill, number 1 through 10.
6.
Here we go. Culinary nuts include botanical nuts as well as fruits and seeds, just FYI. Number 6. Here's your question. These nuts are native to Australia and are an ingredient in Pepperidge Farm's Sausalito cookies.
I can only think of one.
Sure. I'm trying to go through all the nuts that he named in Best in Show. None of those sound Australian to me.
I'm trying to remember a Sausalito. I don't think it's you guys locked in?
I love that song. Phil Collins.
Sausalito.
All right, we will be locking in because we had the same thought.
The only thing I can think of is this is like a macadamia nut cookie. Like
Yeah,
a
sure.
white chocolate or... I'm trying to remember the Sausalito. I don't really remember it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like an almond cookie or a cashew or a walnut or anything like that.
Yeah, and with macadamia, I always think of like Pacific Islands. So, but I don't know that that's correct. So let's go with it.
We're going to lock in the humble macadamia nut.
There's nothing humble about a
I'm
macadamia
aware.
because I can't afford them. But we also said macadamia.
The humbling part.
It sounds like a nut I can hear an Australian saying with that accent.
Yes,
That's,
I was just going to say
that was
Yeah,
that's
they
my
probably call it
only
maca.
reasoning.
I had to go to 4 stores once to find macadamia nuts to make cookies. They annoy me.
When the stores were sold out, did you say no?
No.
No.
Or no. Someone said on TikTok, they're
Sorry,
like,
guys.
if you say the letters R and RNR with an Australian accent,
no.
it sounds like you're saying no. Anyway, the answer is the humble macadamia.
Nice.
Oh, macadamia.
Yeah, mate.
Oh, no.
Sorry to our Australian listeners, but we love you.
Sorry, all of you. Our number 2 listening nation.
Good on you.
Yes, thank you, though.
You're doing like the Jerry Seinfeld. Hello.
Hello. Dolores. Okay. Number 3 of round 2 is coming to us from user Majakoa. They chose number 34. So quiz number 34 is sandwich ingredients. Can you name each type of sandwich given its ingredients? Kellyn, number 1 through 10.
8.
Roasted lamb, tomato, onion, and tzatziki.
Yep, we can lock in.
Okay.
This is the proper recipe.
I don't really eat sandwiches, so.
Not the recipe that everybody else eats.
All right, so this is the number 1 food that is shown on signage outside of store windows.
That also says Kronos.
That is completely sun bleached.
I believe it's pronounced gyro, right?
Yeah, gyro.
Gyro.
Euros.
So I have an in with a local food establishment
food
eatery
vendor
around here. And just so you know, most people don't actually get lamb when they order a gyros. They get beef. Most places serve beef because people like it better.
Does he serve beef or lamb?
The one I'm referring to serves beef.
Or do you mean?
That's how I know this.
Well, you're both correct. It is gyros or euro.
Also
Too bad you didn't
excellent with
pick.
some falafel.
It is good with waffle. You didn't pick number 1, which was marshmallow spread and peanut butter, which is the fluffer nutter.
I've never had that.
I have.
I
haven't had that either.
I don't like peanut butter enough. I would do a marshmallow sandwich.
When I was in high school in French class, we all had to make crepes, and we had to choose our ingredients. I was the only one who chose this ingredient, but it was very good. I chose marshmallow fluff.
I'm not surprised you did a sweet crepe and not a savory crepe.
No, I'm not surprised either.
Why would you do a savory crepe when sweet crepes are right there?
I'm surprised you took a culinary class and then later tried to add hummus to an omelet.
Good reference. Let's move on. Let's move on to number 4. This clue comes to us from Squeegee. And they chose number 62. So quiz 62 in this book is going to be space exploration by the numbers. Okay, Ken, I just need number 1 through 10.
All right, so we'll go with 2.
2. I would like you to take the number of men who have walked on the moon divided by the number of planets in our solar system with no moons.
I'm going to use this opportunity to go run some errands. You got this, Jeff?
Yeah, we can lock in. I have the answer.
I believe are Mercury and Venus the only planets with no moons?
Yes,
I think
that's
so. True.
Yeah.
So we're dividing a number by 2.
Mm-hmm. I think the answer for the space or the moonwalkers may be about 16 or so. So you want to say
17 was the number that came into my head before he finished the question, so that sounds good to me.
Not divisible though. So
I don't think it's 8.5. But so yeah,
it's either 16 or 18, I think. So let's say the answer is 8.
I'm down with that.
I believe that 6 successful missions put people on the moon for a total of 12. 2 planets lack moons, and we came up with 6.
And points for Jaws 19. It was 12 divided by 2 equals 6.
I know how many people walked on the Wolf-Biederman comet in the movie Deep Impact.
And how many was that?
Oh, maybe I don't. It was either 3 or 4.
Well, we can neither confirm nor deny if the next Discord user walked on the planet. But Tyler Atkinson, you chose 44. And quiz number 44 is Mystery Round Music. So what Edwin did here is each question is a fake definition of sorts, and each definition is a genre of music. So what you're looking for is a genre of music, okay? So Jeff, give me a number 1 through 10.
9.
All right, your question is a verb provide shelter or space for. Verb provide shelter or space for.
And what was the thing we're
looking for? A genre of music.
I think I got this one, so we can lock in.
Is this house music?
We're also going to go house.
And house music, I believe invented right here in Chicago, is correct.
Local tunes.
My favorite subgenre, this is real, my favorite real subgenre of house music is witch house.
Ooh.
Do you go, ooh?
It is a little, it's a little spooky.
But which house?
No, witch house.
Oh.
That kind of broom.
Oh, that kind of witch.
Yeah.
All right, well... after 5, I don't think there's too much witchcraft going on here. I think the scores are still pretty tight. Jeff, what do we got?
Yeah, so we've got follicular manslaughter at 135 and Jaws 19 unrelinquishing of that lead, 175.
Still anybody's game, though, as we always like to say.
That shark is always hungry.
That is correct, Kellyn. And someone hungry for the next question is Jenny Amelia 318, who chose number 64. And the quiz number 64 is Mystery Round, Science and Technology. It's actually, this is very random that this happened, but it's basically the exact same type of question. I'm going to give you a definition, and we are going to be looking for a unit of measurement. So just like the last question, definition, we need an answer in a unit of measurement. So let's go to Bill, 1 through 10.
8.
Noun, a person who serves as a representative at a duel. Noun.
We're locked in.
Okay.
We're locked in. I got this.
Ooh.
Oh, you've seen Hamilton once or twice?
No, I read some books that take place in the 1700s.
So, Jeff, would you be my second if I had to duel Neal at some point?
Sure.
Thanks.
I need a second to process the betrayal that just happened when my teammate left me to be on Ken's team.
Oh, I'm not on Ken's team.
Just for the duel.
I need you to be my second.
I hope I never have to duel Neal.
He's got Bill.
I hope not.
But I'm prepared.
I'm prepared too, but I also will poison you before the duel, and you'll die before it starts.
I believe.
How gentlemanly.
Gentlemanly. No, the answer is second. You are correct. Great job, both teams.
Oh, I just got it.
Yeah. You're doing great, Jeff.
I'm just kidding.
Bronte, Jeff. Bronte. All right, our next...
Neal, we've gotten 3 wrong this whole game, okay? Get off my ass. It's mostly been Kellyn.
Yeah. I'm pulling the weight here. No.
Let's move on to number 7. The Discord user Lizzo132 chose number 93, and quiz number 93 is Mystery Round: The Natural World. Very similar to the last 2 questions. I'm going to give you a definition, and your answer must be a type of snake. Type of snake. So let's go to Jeff, number 1 through 10.
Wow, I took that personally. Let's go 5.
Here we go. Half the name of a British comedy troupe which included John Cleese.
Bill, you a fan?
Monty Python?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Ken's a fan.
I'm a fan.
Who is your favorite Python? I think we talked about this last time I was on.
Jake the Snake?
You're
Damien.
Damien, yeah.
Michael Palin.
Michael Palin, that's what I thought.
I like Eric Idle.
They're all good.
Yeah.
And Python is correct. If you would have said number 3, Jeff, you would have gotten Reef Builders. And if you were a fan of The Walking Dead, you would have known the answer because it was Coral.
Aren't they releasing 2 new spinoffs of that show right now?
I know Daryl's getting a
like the zombies in
anybody
that
still
show. It'll
watch
never
it?
end. I think they do, unfortunately.
AMC once.
Do you watch it, Bill?
Monty Python?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, I do not.
So I was
over.
into like
The
the
zombies
first.
are over.
I was into like the first 7 seasons of that show, and then one of the executives from AMC said, "We think of this as like a 25-year property," and I was like, "I'm out."
No, we're good.
Yeah,
I'm out.
A new cultural
Zombies
panic.
are
We're
so
done with
Maybe he
zombies.
said 100-year property. Like it was insanity.
I liked
Yeah.
the HBO zombie one with the fungus infection.
Game of Thrones.
Last of Us.
Oh, those aren't zombies though. Those are whatever they call them.
Last of Us?
Clickers.
Is that what it's called?
The Last of Us.
Yes, that was good. I don't
Not
know if those
zombies.
are technically zombies.
They're
but
fungus zombies.
All of that stuff is gross.
Okay, number 8 comes to us from Discord user Shazjin. They picked number 99, also known as the number of Ricky Vaughn from Major League. And quiz number 99 is geology. Ken, give me a number 1 through 10.
I'd rather not. 6.
Your question: what is the process called by which water or wind removes soil from one location and deposits it in another?
Kellyn, we can lock in.
All right.
Well, would the removal be erosion?
I think it would be.
But does that include the depositing?
Yeah, it's got to go somewhere, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's got to road to somewhere.
Yeah, matter can't be created or destroyed, right? Einstein or something.
We're gonna say erosion.
We too said erosion.
I think we've all been known to have a little bit of erosion after some coffee in the morning, but yeah, the answer is erosion.
What does that mean?
Well, you have to deposit it somewhere.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm a tea drinker, Neal.
I thought for sure you were gonna make a joke about. I was just in the pool.
It's a frightened turtle. Let's move on to the second last question of the round. I actually asked all the competitors before we started to just give me a number, 1 to 100. Jeff picked 76, so that's going to be quiz number 76, Ancient Egypt. What was the capital of Ancient Egypt during the Old Kingdom? I do have a hint, but you will lose 5 points if you take the hint. So what was the capital of Ancient Egypt during the Old Kingdom?
Do you do world history classes?
I used to. And I used to teach about ancient Egypt. I don't know this one, but I do have a guess if you want to lock in, especially because I think I know what the hint is going to be if my line of thinking is what I just texted.
I'm looking at your guess, and that's actually what was in my head too. So let's
Look
go
at
with it.
Do you feel like texting that guess this way?
No, I don't. You have enough of an advantage right now, Kellyn.
I am not appreciating your generosity. We wanted to go perfect in one of these rounds, Ken, and this may prevent us.
Too bad.
The current capital of Egypt is Cairo, I believe. The old capital was further south. How would you feel about Memphis?
Whatever you say.
Thebes?
If you're iffy, do you want to just try for 5 and go for the hint?
No.
All or nothing?
All or nothing.
I'm going to say that we're going to walk like an Egyptian in Memphis.
Yeah, we said Memphis as well.
And the hint was it's also a city in Tennessee. The answer is Memphis.
This is me finding out there was a city in Egypt called Memphis.
Our final question of the round. Once again, I asked the competitors in the studio to give me a number, and Bill said 72. And 72 is quiz U.S. wars.
Ooh.
Name the war that the U.S. was involved in, given 3 of its battles and campaigns.
Oh, no, never mind.
Your 3 battles. Battle of Guantanamo Bay, Battle of San Juan Hill, Siege of Santiago de Cuba.
Yeah, we can lock in.
All right.
Okay, so it sounds like this is taking place in and around Cuba.
See.
I believe that might be the Spanish-American War. Oh,
Or
what am I
as,
doing explaining to you?
Well, as my Cuban friend would say, the Spanish-American-Cuban War, and as my Filipino friend would say, the Spanish-American-Cuban-Filipino War.
Mm-hmm.
But how would your Panamanian friend feel? We also said the Spanish-American War.
And points to both teams to end the second round.
I love
it.
points.
It is the Spanish-American War.
Nah, we messed up Panama after that.
Points are my favorite.
We didn't miss a single question in that whole second half, Kellyn.
Good for you.
It is good for us. And actually, it was pretty good for you guys as well. Nobody missed anything in that second half of round 2. So scores going into the final are looking pretty nice. 185 for follicular manslaughter and 225 points for Jaws 19.
Well, we do need some final round categories. So let me give you these final 5 here. And they are, number 1 is going to be in comic strips. Number 2, holidays. Number 3, history of Japan. Number 4, bodies of water. And number 5, fine art.
All the wagers are now locked in. Let's have the questions.
All right. Question 1 was chosen by Make Way for Willie. They chose number 86. Quiz number 86 is comic strips. Your question: this comic strip's original name had the word circle in it because its single panel is made in that shape. Number 2 is coming to us from El Guapo, and that is going to be quiz 18. Holidays. Bastille Day is a French holiday that celebrates the storming of the Bastille. On what date in 1789 did this occur? Our next question is history of Japan. That was actually a number chosen by Ken, ironically, and it was quiz number 75. Himeji Castle in the Hyogo Prefecture dates back to 1333 and was the filming location of which 5th James Bond film starring Sean Connery? Number 4 comes to us from Wimpy, parentheses, Willem van Vendeloo, and the category is bodies of water, and it is quiz 59. This is the world's largest tropical lake and is home to the hippopotamus. And our final question is going to be in fine art, coming to us from user UNHHH.
That's a Trixie Mattel Katya reference.
Oh,
that's their web series.
Okay, that's what I was curious. So I know who that is too, but I didn't know how to pronounce that name. But yes, that's going to be number 28, which is fine art, as I said. This painter, who specialized in Western American art, often painted cowboys. Hint: the cowboys he painted carried guns made by his cousin's company.
All right, both teams have gone all the way in for this final round, 30 points all the way down. So let's take a break, come up with the answers, listen to some messages, and we'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. It's Jean Chatsky, host of the Her Money podcast. For 7 years, my show has been changing the relationships women have with money because, make no mistake, when it comes to money, women are different. We face challenges that men don't. Longer lifespans, caregiving, a gender pay gap that just won't quit. Oh, and the fact that the financial industry was built by men for men. We need information specifically for us, presented without jargon in a judgment-free zone. And that's what the Her Money podcast is all about. Every week, we talk about earning more, spending smart, investing to build the life you want, and protecting yourself from disaster. Subscribe to Her Money with Gene Chatsky wherever you get your podcasts, because when you own your money, you own your life.
And we're back with the 5 questions for the final round.
No, shock jock Neal.
Your morning zoo.
The morning zoo. We're back here. We have all the answers are locked in. So let's go back, find out what these questions are, and here are the wagers. I think, are both teams going all in?
All in.
Yeah,
we're
man.
in.
Okay.
Nervous.
So both teams are Incubus, and let's see what happens. So question 1, I was asking what comic strip's original name had the word circle in it because its single panel is made in that shape?
We thought maybe Family Circus.
Okay.
We too thought maybe this one would be the one that you miss, but we said Family Circus.
Points to both teams. It is the Family Circus.
Yay!
Number 2, both teams seemed pretty confident on. It was Bastille Day, is a French holiday that celebrates the storming of the Bastille. On what date in 1789 did this occur?
We are hoping that it happened on July 14th.
Yeah, wouldn't be much of a revolutionary if I didn't know the date of the storming of the Bastille. July 14th.
July 14th is correct. Points to both teams. Curious if this question will divide both teams. Himeji Castle in the Hyogo Prefecture dates back to 1333 and was the filming location for which James Bond film?
We said Goldfinger.
I think the team with the Midas touch is going to be us over here, though, because I'm pretty sure it's You Only Live Twice.
And yes, taking place in Japan. You only live twice. Number 4.
But you've not even lived once until you've had ramen in Japan, right, Jeff?
That is true.
And on to the 4th question. We're looking for the world's largest tropical lake that is home to the hippopotamus, or the hippopotamus.
Hip-hop?
The lyrics are bottomless.
Hippopotamus?
We said Lake Victoria.
We also said Lake Victoria.
And you are both correct.
Ow.
And the final question.
It's not looking good for us.
It's not looking good.
But I'll be
You might
really
have to-
happy if we get this one.
The outlook is grim.
Ken and Bill might have to put themselves out of misery with the last name of this painter. This painter, who specialized in Western American art, often painted cowboys, and he painted cowboys who carried guns made by his cousin's company.
I just know there's an episode of America Story of Us in my U.S. history class that we use that talks a lot about Sam Colt and his Colt 45 that all the cowboys carry. So we went Jeopardy and just gave the last name Colt.
Yeah, we did a similar thing, but instead of going for a pistol, we went for a rifle. And we think this guy is maybe a fan of the Bessemer process. We said Remington.
And the correct answer is...
Bring up the Bessemer process in my presence ever again.
Frederick Remington.
Oh, no.
I was referencing Remington Steel. All right, and at the end of that one, unfortunately, even with an impressive score of 215 points, follicular manslaughter was found lying face down in the gutter.
Bald.
As Jaws 19 just completely tore them to pieces with 375 points, making them today's cream of the crop.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Our mangled cadaver clutching our 215 points.
Your mangled corpse was in
your carcass.
Phantom. Your carcass, yeah.
Oh, yes, the carcass. I have to find that quote right now.
Anything that uses the word carcass.
The repulsive carcass.
Shouldn't be in lyrics.
Yes, this repulsive carcass who seems a beast but secretly dreams of beauty. Well, first of all, thank you to Edwin.
Who's not a repulsive carcass.
Yes, who is not a repulsive carcass. Thank you to Edwin Kotchian for providing us with a copy of the Pub Quiz Experience 100 Theme Quizzes for Trivia Lovers.
Yeah, great questions.
Yeah, you saved the day for us today. Thank you so much. And big thank you to our guests. Let's start with in studio here. Kellyn, it's always nice to see you. It's been a while since you've been on a full game. Any final shout-outs before we kick you out of my apartment and you go home?
No. Thanks for having me.
Say hi to Henry for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pets for Henry from everybody.
Yeah, pets to Henry. Thank you very much for being here. And also, Bill, so nice to see you again. We're looking forward to your hosted game, which will be coming up soon. But any final shout-outs before you get back to school today?
Yeah, just super fun to come in and play for the first time. And to any listeners who want some pro wrestling at a brewery, bar, or event space near them, my favorite promotion that I wrestle for up here in the Twin Cities, First Wrestling, just purchased a school bus. So we are now mobile and would love to come put on a fantastic professional wrestling show at a place near you. So
that seems like a perfect synergy for you, Bill.
It is colliding of worlds for sure.
And are you wrestling on the bus or just being transported by bus?
Thrown through. He's defenestrated from the bus.
There might be some wrist locks and other mild submissions applied, but the big moves come out when the ring's set up.
Well, support indie wrestling if you can, and great performers like Bill. But thank you to Kellyn and Bill for joining us today. Thank you to Edwin for the questions. For Kellyn, Jeff, Ken, and Bill, and for Matt, who's not here, my name is Neal, and that was Triviality.